Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For this video, it's going to be a clean with me. I am catching up on cleaning that I have been putting off for a few days now. I usually like to keep up with everything every single day. I clean throughout the day all day long, but the past few days before I filmed this video, I was just going through a hard time. I was very exhausted and overwhelmed, and I just kind of let everything pile up. So this video is going to be all about me just getting my house back to how I like it, getting everything cleaned up, deep cleaning some things, but mostly just getting everything back in regular order. I am not perfect and my house is not always spotless, although it does look like it. Recently, I've just been really struggling with finding the motivation and the energy to clean, especially when you've got 3 kids at your feet. The main thing for me was that I was having really bad skin tenderness and like muscle aches, and my skin was hurting to even touch it. Like if I touched it, or if one of the kids ran into me, or if I pushed it up gently against something, it would hurt so bad. The best way I could describe this is it felt like my entire body was bruised, and you know when you hit a bruise, how bad that hurts. And this is a common symptom with fibromyalgia. I just never experienced it to the degree that I was experiencing it. Like it hurt so bad, my entire body, my skin. A lot of the times I do get muscle fatigue and muscle aches, but it's never actually my skin. My skin just felt like it was burned and bruised. It was awful, but you know, I'm glad to be out of that now. I was able to get out of it. It only lasted me a couple days and I just moved on. You just got to move. You just got to keep moving on. That is the thing with fibromyalgia and dealing with it, especially when you're a mom. You just have to get through the pain and try to relieve it in any way you can, which I did. I rested for a few days. I didn't really do much. I was couch bound for a few days trying to just like recover and get through this flare up. One thing that I've had to really get used to and I've had to really try hard to learn how to do is to rest. I am not a person that likes to rest. I really thrive off of being in a clean environment, being in a clean and organized environment. I always have been, and it's really hard for me to ignore messes, little tiny messes. I'm telling you, like a mark on the table, I have to immediately wipe that up. I have to clean the dirty dish off right away. I have to pick up the one toy that's on the floor. I cannot move on until I do those things. That's how it is for me. So it's really hard for me to let things become messy, and it mentally pains me, okay? And it's something I've had to get used to, that I'm physically restricted. When I have a fibromyalgia flare-up, it restricts me physically to where I can't do that. It's too much for me. I'm going to make it worse for me. I'm going to make whatever physical issue I'm dealing with worse for me. Like when I was having those muscle aches and tenderness of my skin and stuff, I really couldn't move around a lot. I was in so much pain. And so, you know, physically I was resting. I was giving my body the rest I needed, but mentally I was suffering because all of the things in my head that were going on, like you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do that, I couldn't do them. I mean, I could, but I would be putting myself in a bad position. I wouldn't be resting. And I've just been really trying to listen to my body and rest when I need it. And so, you know, I took the 3 days, I think it was, that this was happening to me, to just seriously rest and be couch bound and only get up when I absolutely needed to, you know, to feed the kids and help the kids, whatever it may be. But anything other than that, I wasn't going to be doing it because my body needed me to rest. And it's been hard dealing with that, you know. With the way I am, it's really hard for me to sit down and rest. Anyways, that's enough of that. Thank you for listening to my rant. I went ahead and I deep cleaned out the microwave because that was much needed. We use our microwave so much and it was really gross. And then I went ahead and I moved it and I cleaned behind it. That was also pretty gross. And there was a lot of just like caked on, I don't even know, grease because the stove is right there. And then after that, I cleaned the tile behind our stove and around the range on top. That gets so nasty and greasy. I try my best to wipe that off, you know, as often as I remember to, but that's something that I feel like a lot of people just forget about. But it does get pretty nasty and greasy up there. As you can see, there's quite a bit of grease on the paper towel. So I just kept wiping it down, and I was just using my vinegar and dish soap spray because this is the multi-purpose cleaner that I use and it gets the job done good. So I went over that until, you know, the paper towel came clean. And then I just wiped down all of our appliances. We have stainless steel all appliances, and that is such a blessing. I'm so thankful that I have these. When I was a kid, I always wanted all stainless steel appliances, really nice stainless steel appliances, and I have those now, and I'm very thankful for them. But they get smudged up so easily. You can see everything on them, fingerprints, grease, watermarks, all of it. So you have to wipe these down honestly every day, especially with little kids. Do I do that? No, I wipe them down probably once a week. I got sidetracked here and I was wringing out my rug because I'm gonna throw my rugs in the washer in the kitchen. So I was just getting all the crumbs off of there. But once again, I just use the dish soap and vinegar mixture and I wipe down all of the appliances. And the vinegar and the dish soap works so good on the stainless steel. It works just as good as any other stainless steel cleaner out there. I feel like my cleaning routine / my cleaning style changes so much because I just keep changing as life goes on. So basically my cleaning routine lately has been doing the best that I can do, doing what I can when I can do it. So I was just wiping off the side of the fridge. I always hang the girls' art projects here and paint gets on there sometimes. And just random stuff. Some of it didn't come off. I used magic eraser. That did the job. Love me a good magic eraser. That's actually the Aldi brand. Any brand of the magic eraser will work. Can't remember what they're called. Then I went ahead and I wiped down the garbage can and right behind the garbage can where it sits because a lot of stuff just gets splattered onto there and stuck. I was wiping off this counter. I usually like to wipe my counters every night, but you know, like I said, I was not cleaning for a couple days, so this had a lot of just crap all over it, and I like to clean the chairs too. Very often the kids sit in these a lot and they get stuff all over them. They had spills on the legs and stuff, so I was just getting that off because I have yet to do that since getting these bar stools. And then I took this pile of laundry that has been piling up for days. Normally I throw laundry in every night. It's like stuff that the kids stain or just needs to be washed right away. I finally threw that in the washer, vacuumed the steps to be able to mop them, decluttered the coats and the shoes. Coats and shoes constantly get piled up and we don't really need all of the coats and shoes out, so I just tried to put them back away in the bins, in the closet, and only keep out the shoes and coats that we use pretty much every day. I vacuumed off this mat, which had so much dirt on it, and then I cleaned off this bench, vacuumed it out, wiped it all down. This thing is so beat up and so scratched from those metal bins that I really regret buying. I will fix it up someday, but for now it works and I will just continue to let it get beat up. I'm going to be mopping, so I was just vacuuming the rug and rolling it up. And then I got sidetracked and I cleaned my dining room table because I realized I never cleaned it the night before after dinner. So I went ahead and wiped that down, and then Hazel helped me do that as well. That is her technique that she was using. Here is the kitchen after I was done cleaning it. And then I went ahead and filled up my bucket to mop. My Tinaco, I thought my Tinaco was broke, but it actually ended up just being clogged, so I figured that out. But in this video, I thought it was broke, so I had to use my spin mop, which really killed my back and made me so exhausted. I was so freaking tired after this. It took so much out of me, which is honestly just like really sad that it was this difficult for me to mop, but it got the job done. I felt like my floors definitely weren't as clean, but they needed to be mopped either way. And like I said, my Tinaco was, well, it was clogged, but I thought it wasn't working at the time. Having to mop with this just makes me even more grateful for having a Tinaco because it saves you so much time. It saves your back. It's way more clean. I got sidetracked here and I started to get these marks up off the wall with the magic eraser. Once again, lots of pencil, crayon, paint, all of that. That's where the kids sit at the kid table. And then I just continued to mop. I mopped the stairs, the up and downstairs section. Having fresh clean floors is such a good feeling, especially like the front hallway. There was no dirt, that mat was clean, the bench was clean, everything was so nice and clean in the front hallway, and I'm just so used to it being so dirty right there. And then I also mopped the bathroom. I didn't do the downstairs because it doesn't really need mopped right now because we don't go down there too much. This was the dirty water, which I thought would be a lot more dirty, which makes me think that it actually wasn't mopping that great, because when I use the Tinaco, it's usually way darker than this. And I hadn't mopped in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna be real. I had not mopped in 2 weeks, which is disgusting, but I already explained why I've been down and out. And then I moved on to the playroom. The kids helped me pick up a little bit, and then I just had to organize it all back into where it goes. Obviously, when I'm trying to get stuff done, that's what they're doing. They're in this room playing their little hearts out. And then I cleaned the windows. That was something I wanted to get done, was to just wipe down all of the surfaces, but especially the glass, because once again, fingerprints, smudges, all that, it shows up on all of the glass. So I was just getting all that nice and clean, and the kids were being very nice and helping me out. They always love to help me clean, and I'm trying to teach them, you know, how to clean as well, so they're not incompetent when they turn into adults. I just went around wiping down all of the glass. I love the Sprayway glass cleaner. It's the best glass cleaner ever, in my opinion, and it's not as overwhelming. It doesn't have ammonia in it, so it's not as overwhelming as like Windexes or some other glass cleaners. I wiped off my desk because this hasn't been done in a while and it was pretty dirty. And then I also wiped off the kids' gymnastics bar because they go on this so much, and I know they go on it with their dirty, grubby hands, so that needed wiped down. The shelf, just like random spots that don't really get wiped down that often, I made sure to wipe down and get clean. And then I moved on to the dining room and the front room area. I actually moved the table because it's kind of hard to vacuum underneath this table, just the way that it's set up. So I moved it so I could get a good vacuum. Tons of crumbs that are underneath this table, and I just can't reach it sometimes, even with the small vacuum. So I like to move it every once in a while to get everything out of the carpet, and then I just vacuumed my heart away. Here we go. Here's me vacuuming. I have so much carpet in my house. I have to vacuum so much, but I don't mind vacuuming. I do wish that I could use my stick vacuum to vacuum my whole house, but the battery just doesn't last that long. It does last, but it just is more easy for me to use the corded vacuum, and it also works a little bit better. It has better suction. Moving on to the living room. Once again, more messes. The kids were playing a board game and they brought some of their toys in here, so I was just picking those up. And then I also was getting off pencil marks. This day, Isla got a pencil and she just went a little wild with the pencil. And I didn't know that she had it. She was being very sneaky. So she did some damage with the pencil, but luckily magic erasers are here to help us out in these situations. And I got all of the pencil off of everything. And then I was just wiping down the coffee table. Normally I do this every single night because this thing gets so dirty, because we do put our drinks on it. Sometimes we eat here, sometimes we have snacks, whatever it is. The kids have greasy, dirty fingers. Like, that's just how it is. And then I was wiping off all the surfaces in the living room. So the fireplace, the TV, the glass doors. These glass doors drive me crazy because of how many fingerprints they get all over them. But I love them. I'm obsessed with them, actually. I think they're so beautiful, and I always dreamed of having French doors in my house. So I'm very happy and thankful that I have them. And then there was some black smudges all over these pictures. I'm assuming it was one of the kids that climbed up there and was like pointing to the pictures. So I went ahead and wiped those down and got the dust off the top of them. And then I cleaned the windows. This was something I really wanted to do. Once again, I said I wanted to clean all the glass surfaces and also like the windowsill. Sometimes we set drinks up there, so those had some like watermarks and just dust collected on them. So I wiped all of the windows down, these big beautiful windows that I love so much, and also the sliding door as well. And then I dusted off this heater that we have that we do not use, but it would just be way too much of a hassle to like get it removed. It's connected to a gas line. It would be too much work and money. So I was just dusting it off because it collects so much dust. I got quite a bit of dust out of it. And then I went around and I vacuumed once again. I vacuumed the living room. I also took it upstairs, vacuumed the hallway, and then vacuumed each of the girls' rugs that are in their room because those needed to be vacuumed. That is all I got done this day. I got everything done that I wanted to, though, and I was able to catch up so that hopefully I can just stay on top of things like I normally do and not let things pile up like this, because it's way harder to clean when I let things pile up like this. I do like to just stay on top of everything and, clean as I go, clean throughout the day. That's how I live. But sometimes, it's really hard to do that. So I hope you guys got some motivation to clean from this video. I hope I inspired you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.